guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. Today we are going to do some different colored jig skirts. And I'm in the shop, I'm not in a hotel or anything, I'm not traveling for work right now. So what I went ahead and did was I pre-poured about 5 of each size. I did a 1/2 ounce Arky jig and a 3/8 ounce Arky jig. So here's the 1/2. Okay. And here's the 3/8, just a little bit smaller hook. I believe this is a 3/0 hook, and I believe the 1/2 ounce is a 4/0 hook. Okay, so I pre-poured them. They all have these weed guards in them now. They're not weed guards. What they are is they're Teflon pins, so that we can go ahead and paint them. So we're gonna go ahead and paint these up, the colors that I want to use. And today, the 2 colors that we're gonna do is, one is called the Joker, which is a purple and green combo. It's really cool looking, and I'll show you as we go along. And then the other one is peanut butter and jelly, PB&J. So we will do both of those. I'm going to show you what tabs to use for the skirts. I'm also going to, we're also going to paint them, like I said. So we're going to paint. We're going to go ahead and put them in the oven to bake at 350 for about 20 minutes. And then we will go ahead and make up the jig skirts. And while those are painting, we also have to put the weed guards in as well afterwards. So stay tuned, it's going to be a good one. Okay guys, so I went ahead and I'm preheating up the toaster oven right now to 350. Okay, we're going to go ahead and paint 3 of the 1/2 ounce with this pumpkin brown. And this is one of the ProTech paints. I love the ProTech paints. Make sure you shake it up real good, get it aerated. And this is one that you do not need to use a fluid bed. I don't use them when I don't have to. So we're going to go ahead and do these 5 on that color, and then we're going to do these 5 for the Joker color. We are going to use just a purple ProTech powder paint, of course. So again, 5 and 5. So let's go ahead and get the heat gun going. I'm going to get you guys positioned to where you can see the tip of the heat gun here. And I'm going to just go ahead and use a pair of forceps to grab one of these by the hook, lock it in place just like that, and we're going to go ahead and heat it up. Now again, shake up. I probably do it in between at least every 2. So we're going to heat these up, and I'm just going to go ahead and do probably 2 of these just to show you what it looks like and what I do. So I'm going to heat them up, and these Teflon pins keep the hole where the weed guard goes from paint getting into it. So we're going to go ahead and heat it up, and it should be fairly hot, which it is. And I'm going to go ahead and dip it into my powder paint. Okay, and then tap off the extra. Okay, then I like to pull the Teflon out and heat it up. And while you're heating it, you'll notice that the epoxy paint, it sticks and then it starts to shine. So it's starting to get that nice shiny coat to it. So when you bake it in the oven, it's going to be all nice and shiny, all nice coated. Everything is coated. Now you can do different things, like you can tape off the hook eye if you want to. I don't typically do that. I don't mind painting them as long as the hole is open. See the hole in the eye? As long as the hole is open, you're good. So I'm going to go ahead. That one's all set, just so you guys can see it. This is painted, and it is hot. So there's the hole. Looks good. Nice even coat. And the idea is you don't want to get too much paint on there because you don't want them to drip. So I didn't like how that last one dipped in that. Didn't like how that last one dipped in the powder paint. So I'm just going to go ahead and cap this off again. Shake it up one more time. And this time I'm not gonna give you guys a super close up of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and heat this up. Try not to let the Teflon fall out. so I'm sure it's getting warm too. Oh, this one looks like it didn't get cleaned up when it was done. Just 1 second, guys. All I'm doing is filing off part of the head, because it looks like I missed it and didn't file down where you cut the sprue off. Okay, there we go. Just noticed that I missed that. My bad. So I'm going to go ahead and heat it up again just real quick. I'm sure it's fine. Didn't even notice until right now. So it should be nice and hot. I'm going to go ahead and dip her in and knock off the extra. And now we don't care if the Teflon comes out, because I just want it out of the hole for the weed guard. So again, we will heat it up. And it takes a few seconds for this to heat up real good. And it doesn't have to be perfectly shiny, but it's starting to get shined up. And the eye is clear. See that? So that one's going to be good too. Okay? So I am going to now move over to the purple for the Joker color. Shake that up. Make sure that I cut down all my stuff, which I did. I'm going to go ahead and heat it up. We're going to do the same size. I'm going to do I'm going to do the 2 half-ouncers. Just go ahead and heat it up real good. And go ahead and dip her in there and shake off the excess. Trying to get the weed guard out. There it goes. And the beauty about now, before I started doing some of these, when I first started doing these jigs, they come with these metal pins. And the bad part about the metal pins is I like to keep them in, so then that way I can paint them and keep the holes clean. But you got to clean up those pins afterward, and it is a pain in the butt cleaning those pins. And I found that using some paint thinner was the best way to do it. Just let them sit for a little bit and then just scrub them off. But they came out with these Teflon pins, and I'm not sure how long they've been out, but the Teflon pins are a lot nicer, because what you do is you can heat the paint up, or even if you don't heat the paint up, and there you go, guys, this is the purple we're using, so that's what it's going to look like. Nice purple color. And there's the spot for the weed guard, and the eye's free and clear. So we're going to make a couple of those. I'm going to do one more of those. But the Teflon pins, the paint will just come right off them. So whether it's wiping them off or scraping them off, but they come off substantially easier than the metal. It sticks to the metal quite well. So we're going to go ahead and get this one heated up. We're going to do this one real quick, and then I'm just going to go ahead and cut the camera off, and we will go ahead and I'll do up the rest of them off the camera, because we still got 6 more jigs to do. So I'm going to go ahead and do those off camera, and that one is ready to go as well. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them off camera, like I said. And we got the, we have the toaster oven heating up now. And once that's done, we get these done, I'm going to go ahead and put this rack in there. This is my rack that I use to bake my jigs on. And I've seen some guys doing the stand-up ones, which is pretty cool because it keeps the runs from running into the tip of the head, which I like. But as long as you don't put too much paint on there, you really shouldn't have that issue. So I'm going to continue doing it the old school way. I just wanted to show you guys all 10 are ready to go. So many half ounces and so many 3/8 of each color here. So I've got 5 for the PB&J and 5 for the Joker, ready to go. And I'm going to go ahead, and I've got some other jigs I've got to do too, so just to not to waste some space, I'm going to do some Ned heads, and I'm going to put them on here too and just bake them while I'm baking this stuff at the same time. So we are done painting. I just had to add a bunch of Neds on there. And like I said, we've got the toaster oven baking right now. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of point you in that direction. I'm just going to open her up nice and delicately. Put her in there. And be careful because it's really hot right now because it's heated up. Shut the door and set a timer for 20 minutes. She's done. So we're going to go ahead, open it up. Don't forget your gloves. Grab this, pull it out nice and easy. Set it down somewhere easy to cool. And the one thing we need to check before we do anything is make sure, turn the toaster oven off, make sure it's off, but you got to make sure, and I don't know if these are going to stop swinging enough to notice, but just make sure all the eyes are clear. And it looks like all of them are clear. There may be 1 or 2 that I may need to clean out afterwards, but I got a hook eye cleaner that I can do afterwards, and I can show you guys how I do that. So next step in the process is to take the weed guards and glue them in. So again, I always like to use the Loctite super glue. The ultra gel control seems to work the best. With the purple jigs for the Joker, we are going to put a little bit of glue in the cavity and just go ahead and give it a firm push on that weed guard to get it in there. And that'll glue nice and straight, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and do that for all 5 of these. Again, sometimes these weed guards, you got to put a little bit of force behind them to get them to fit in there. I do once in a while take some of the strands out of the weed guard if it won't fit. Haven't had to do that with this one yet. Some of these, sometimes the holes are a little bit too shallow too, so you just got to be careful with what you're doing. But I like to push it in there nice and firm. That'll glue in there. That'll glue right into place. The half ouncers have a little bit of a deeper hole just because of the amount of lead. And again, I see one of them just popped out on me, one of the strands, and possibly even 2 might pop out, but that's okay. We don't need that. We don't need that one either. But if you make it smaller, they'll fit in there a lot easier too. So I can see the glue in there coming out. That's all that matters. Again, put some glue in there, pop it in. Okay, so there's those. And I use black for the purple. Now for the PB&J, I'm going to just use a brown colored weed guard. And again, same thing. Push them in, put some glue in the hole, push them in, done. Let them set up. And while we are waiting for these to set up, which shouldn't take too long, it's super glue, and it still takes a little bit of time because it's gel. But while we're waiting for those to set up, we will go ahead and make the skirts. And I'm just going to go ahead and build one skirt on camera so you guys can see the colors, take my time slow so you guys can see everything, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera and then show you guys what we come up with. And then, so the only thing that we're really not showing in this video is pouring the actual Arky jig itself. And it's okay if you use too much glue. You can wipe off the excess. It'll be fine. Not going to hurt anything. You might get a little bit of super glue residue on there. And sometimes I'm a perfectionist with like that, but it's not a big deal. So now that we got our weed guards in place, we are going to go ahead and start doing, let's do the Joker first, which involves these three colors. The first one is a green 619 from Barlow's Tackle. It's a Nature's Edge silicone skirt. I think we need one tab of this green. One tab of green. Okay? So one tab of green. We also need this purple. And this is a Nature's Edge as well. It's just a violet purple. And this one is actually from, I believe, Lure Parts Online. And the code is 602. But I'm not too absolute sure on that. But it's just a Nature's Edge purple with some black flake in it. That's all it is. So we're going to use that. One of those, or was it two of those? Two of those. Two of those. Okay. And the last one is a strand of this Watermelon Candy Nature's Edge Ripple Layer. And this is from Barlow's Tackle as well. And the number is 434. And we're just going to do one of those. So, if I remember correctly, what I like to do is alternate. Where we go purple, the Watermelon Candy, purple, and then the green. And then I like to go ahead and, like I said, I've got this nice tool for doing the skirts, for doing the collars. And I like to use O-rings. I think I've said that before in my previous videos. It's a little tiny O-ring that you'd see like in the seal of like a sink faucet or something like that. But I use those instead of using the rubber collars, skirt collars, because I don't know, I just don't like them. They break easy, they dry out. These do not dry out as easy, and I like using these. Are a lot nicer to use, and I think they make the jig look nicer too. So again, get it on there, get it in the middle where you want it, in the middle of the skirt. Take some scissors, cut the tab ends off. And then, like I said, what I like to do is I like to push the collar down so that there's a short end of the skirt. Okay, so you'll have the short end of the skirt, then the long end will still have these on it. We're going to go ahead and cut these tabs off too. And when you put this together, you're going to make it so that it's short on one end and long on the other. And the hook will go through where the longer part is. So when we feed the hook through, we'll feed it through the longer part, come out through the shorter part. Now what that does is when you put the hook in and slide it up on the actual jig itself, it will roll up, and this will become pretty much even with that once it rolls over the side from the jig head. So it looks like that, like right just like that, and it'll be a nice full skirt. So that right there is the Joker. Green, purples, very nice. So I've got to make up a bunch more of those. And then we'll move on to the PB&J, which is one tab of, what is it, 463 purple, which is this purple. This is a Barlow's Tackle as well. 463 purple. This is a barbed wire. It's 1 tab of that. Then we use 1 tab of the barbed wired PB&J, of course. Use the actual PB&J. Very pretty. Love that color. So you use that, and that again. That's from Jan's Netcraft. A little bit different. It's 318 PB&J, but it's barbed wire again. And you might be able to get these at different places. Then we need the Nature's Edge root beer, which is an older one that I've had for a while. And I love this color. It's a very tanny brown, but a little bit of an orange, I guess, to it. This is an old color that I've had. This is from Lure Parts Online. And it is, looks like 530. But again, it's a Nature's Edge material. Don't know if you can get that one anymore. I've looked for it for a while. There are some different, very close offsets of that you can get. And I'm pretty sure I've had to buy one already. And then here is a brown purple foil. So it's a brown skirt with purple foil in it. And this is a metallic foil, 568. That's from Barlow's as well. But this is what it looks like. See that purple foil in there? Brown with a purple foil. Beautiful color. Beautiful. So this, I really don't have a strategic way of setting up these. I guess we could just go ahead and put the browns together with the purple towards the purple, kind of like purple to brown kind of deal. So we'll just go ahead and layer it like that. So we got the purple on the bottom, PB&J next, the brown foil, brown with the purple foil, and then the root beer. So again, we're gonna go ahead, put a gasket, an O-ring on the tool. We're gonna open her up. We're gonna feed her through. Pull that off. And there's your PB&J skirt. And what we'll do is we'll cut the tabs off one end, get it ready. There's one end. And there's 2 ends. And you can trim these up later. It doesn't have to be perfect. But I'm going to go ahead and skinny it down to the skinny end, just like I said, one long, one short. And then you got your nice little PB&J. Okay? So again, I'm going to go off camera now, and I'm going to go ahead and make up 4 more each of those skirt colors. And then we will come back, and hopefully these jigs will be ready, and we'll put the skirts on them. And then that way you guys can see the final results. So we're done with all the skirts. I'm just going to go ahead and try to get a couple of these put in. So we're going to take this, like I said, the long end up, the short end down. We're going to go ahead and just run the jig through the middle and just roll it up. And there you go. That, my friends, is the Joker. Beautiful jig. So we're going to go ahead and do the rest of these. Short end through the long end up on top, through the middle. Separate it out. Push it up in. Joker. So we're going to go ahead and do all these. Do all the jokers first. And you can spin it around different colors if you want. I kind of like to mix and match it a little bit. Maybe you have the green out front and the purple in the back or whatever. And you can adjust the skirts if it's too long in one spot or not long enough, or whatever you decide to your liking. It's up to you, obviously. So I'm going to go ahead and do this one. This is the 3/8. Just a little bit smaller of a jig head, smaller hook. But nonetheless, same kind of jig. Making the same deal. So, same thing every time. Through the long end, want the long end up. Short end down. Then you can roll that, and when you roll that skirt up, it kind of brings it up anyway. So, pretty nice. Okay, so all 5 of those are done. Let's go ahead and do the PB&Js. Again, just move that to one side. I'm going to go ahead on these ones, and I'm going to... This one, I kind of like the orientation, the brown to be on the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and feed the brown so it's on the inside and the purple on the back. And it probably will get mixed up anyway. And actually, that kept pretty good orientation. So there's your PB&J. Brown towards the front, more the purple towards the back. So we're going to go ahead and put all these together like that. And I kind of tried to keep that orientation going where the brown, orange, whatever your color you want to call it, this pumpkin brown, kind of stayed towards the head. A little bit mixed in, but most of the purple goes towards the back, just like that. So we're going to go ahead and finish these up. And we're going to go ahead and call this video because we're probably way more time than I anticipated on doing in this video anyway. Sometimes the skirt, or sometimes the weed guard gets stuck in the skirt a little bit, and sometimes some of the tab splits, they stick together, so you just got to pull them apart with your finger sometimes. Like right now I'm fighting one that just won't, he doesn't want to come apart, but it will at some point. There we go. But sometimes they want to stick together, like that's 2 right there, so you just got to pull them apart. It doesn't happen often, just once in a while. So again, more the purple towards the back, brown towards the front, or the PB color, PB brown, whatever you want to call it. So here's the last one, which I think I already got ready. This was the first one I did, I think. Put her in. And there she is. PB&J. So, get all these set up. Probably going to do some pictures for a thumbnail. Try to get some of these to lay down a little bit so they're not so crazy. And the jokers. And some of the tools we used. And then we're going to wrap this video up, guys. So again, pretty simple. Painting, cutting, putting skirts together, not too shabby. Got some colors here, a bunch of different colors for the skirts. Told you what they were, the tabs in the video. You'll have to go back and watch it again to get the tab colors. I probably won't put them in the descriptions, but there you have it. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I do really enjoy making these. The Joker's one of my favorites. Like, nice little green pumpkin trailer on those, and then the PB&Js, I love those too. And these Arkies are real good for skipping. They got that big flat head on them, rounded flat head, so they're kind of easy to skip. Okay guys, well that's gonna wrap it up for today's video. That was how to make the Joker jig skirt color and jig, one of my favorites, and the classic peanut butter and jelly PB&J, and different paints, the powder paints that we use, the purple and the brown pumpkin. And if you have any questions about it at all, please just comment below. I can help you with identifying any of the tab colors if you need help. If you just missed it in the video or didn't want to go back, that's fine. Just leave me a comment. I can explain to you what you need to get. And we will do some more of these at some point. I do like making the jig skirt colors, like doing this in a video. It's kind of nice, instructional, different colors you guys can try. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we are getting close to 600 subscribers. We're probably going to be over 600 subscribers by the time this video comes out. But you guys are awesome. I appreciate all your support. And remember, keep on baiting.